Hey guys, it's Mike. I want to briefly address a comment made in a recent episode by one of our guests regarding the charitable organization To Proudly Go. Lee Ellen, our friend and frequent guest on the pod, shared her personal lived experience and her perspective. As always, the views expressed by our guests are theirs and theirs alone. To Proudly Go has done a lot of good work, and we're not here to throw shade on another fan organization. So we encourage you to look them up, do some research, and choose for yourself what charitable organizations you'd like to support. Now, let's get back to why we're here, to nerd out on Star Trek.
Hail them.
Hailing frequencies open, sir.
Hailing frequencies. Open.
I don't know why I keep giving alien street food a chance. It's always such a gamble.
Captain, we're being hailed.
On screen.
Eugene Chafour, everyone. Grab a joystick and set a course for nostalgia. This is Hailing Frequencies Open, and we are trekking through the past and future of Star Trek. Specifically today, the past, talking about Star Trek Insurrection. As always, I'm your host, Mike Jones, and joining me here in the virtual studio, he's happy we're back recording because he's had nothing to do at work. He's had to research today's topic on his phone to avoid an HR violation. It's Damien.
You know, this is all terrifyingly true. Eugene Chafour, Mike. Emphasis on the cheen or the four. I don't remember.
Exactly. Yeah, it's funny. When Lanita wrote me sent that intro, I was like, wait a second. Well, like with the Verizon problem that happened today, was he able to do that on his phone? I had a whole internal dilemma about it, and
Yeah, we tried to be evergreen here, but today was the day of the Verizon outage, and I was dead in the water. So
yes, it was bad everywhere. There was a lot of Briar Patch interference in the technology today. So sometimes when it's time to fill our guest co-chair, our guest host chair, not co-chair, our guest host whatever.
I'm sitting in.
Girl, it has been a day. We rack our brains to find the right guest and for the right topic, but not the case tonight. We knew right when we met her, this dear friend of the pod would be the perfect fit for this topic because she told us. She asked for this one. You know her as one of Boston's ghouliest drag and burlesque performers, while we know her as the inventor, star, and producer of the infamous Star Trek variety show Slut Trek. Have you noticed our boobs are getting firmer? It's Lucy Blueskies.
I have noticed. My God.
Yes. I mean, I'm feeling the same kind of way. Welcome, Lucy.
Thank you so much for having me back.
Yay!
Yeah,
Thank you
no,
so much.
It's funny. If you listen to our very first episode with Lucy, where we learned all about Slut Trek for the first time, go back and listen. But she, we had such a great time. It was clear that we were going to lure her back somehow. And she immediately said, I want to do Insurrection. And so we said, well, we got to hurry up. And that was maybe like a year ago. And here we are.
Oh, gosh. Yeah, we were a couple films behind then. And, we had booked Lucy back in October or something crazy, months ago. And then our lives took over and Christmas season happened. And here we are in January recording this. So thank you so much for your patience.
Of course, there's no better time than right now to talk about Insurrection. So I'm ready.
Absolutely. Okay, well, let's introduce our guest today. I can't wait. We are beyond excited to introduce her. In fact, we're starstruck, even a little giddy. She is a legend to us theater nerds, star of stage and screen, nominated for multiple Tony Awards. You may know her from films such as Center Stage, or Gilded Age fans know her as the Miss Astor.
Mike. That we couldn't book her. Plan B.
Oh. Well, then it's just Lanita.
Wow, adjust. That's harsh. Adjust. That was great. That was a good bit, boys. Good job.
Yeah, you like that? You like that?
I did. I like that a lot. And
that was dialogue in the intro.
Yes, it was.
It's so funny because the fact that I wrote that intro for you and then you were like, I had nothing to do at work. I honestly, it was such a coinky dink for me to be like, he's got nothing going on. And actually, you had nothing going on.
Well, I may have a lot going on that I'm just unaware of, but there is an internet issue
Well,
and
too
I
bad,
could
so
not
sad.
do anything.
Well,
So
Verizon gave you a chill day.
A chill
give me a
day,
chill day.
exactly.
Two-factor authentication, people.
I mean, listen, at least you could still like do some things. One of our coworkers, unless you call their phone first, they can't call you.
What?
Exactly what I said. You have to call first for the phone to recognize you, and then a call can be made out to you.
W-
Otherwise, I don't, the Apple Store has no idea. Our
No.
IT has no idea. So, we'll see tomorrow what tomorrow brings. But at
Where's
least you didn't
Uhura
have
when you
that.
need her?
Where is Uhura?
Exactly. Exactly.
So
I'm
Lucy, what have you been up
excited.
to? Let's catch up. It's been so
Yeah,
long.
Lucy, what's going
Uh,
on?
yeah, so December is usually Nutcracker month for most dancers. For me, I'm fortunate enough it's Slutcracker month. I
Yes.
have been in the Slutcracker for the past 5 years, and I got the role of Drosselmeyer this year or last year now. So yeah, it was incredible. I had 6 nights. Just
Amazing.
wrapped that January 4th and diving back into the year. I have some exciting shows coming up this year.
Pray
Uh,
tell.
yes, in March, we are going back to Madame Sherry's for another away mission. If you saw my
Oh.
second year show, Assimilation, I am bringing that to Madame Sherry's. So I
Woohoo.
will
I
have
love
a
that, Lucy. The last time we saw you, you were about to. Last time we had you on the pod, you were about to do your away mission there. So I'm
yes.
assuming back less than a year later that it was a huge success.
It was pretty good. Yeah, they wanted me back and I was like, "You know what? I would love to bring you a scripted story this time." So I am bringing a full storyline there.
Hmm.
I'm really looking forward to it to rework it a little bit. And then of course we are doing Riza May 16th and 17th in Boston. I am so excited for that. And I am also so excited to announce I will be joining Trek Long Island on Saturday night. I will be bringing Slut Trek there. So at Trek Long Island Riza, you can see Slut Trek Riza.
Woohoo.
This
I,
is a major step up or forward
I am
for Trek. I
so
mean, this is what every
yes.
Star Trek convention should have. I feel like this is like the new.
Yep.
I just cannot wait to show everyone what I'm bringing. I am like, you've seen it. I am pouring my whole heart and soul into this, and I just want to entertain everybody. I can't wait. Oh God, we're
Oh
gonna
my
have such
gosh.
a good time.
In the event that we have listeners who somehow have missed your previous appearances with us, can you just give us like a quickie? First of all, if you have missed it, you should go back and listen, especially to our first,
Absolutely.
because that's like our deep dive onto what Slut Trek is. But can you give us just like the quickie version of that if they don't have time to do that?
Yes, of course. So I am the producer and director of Slut Trek, which is a live action love letter to Star Trek. It's drag, it's burlesque, there's pull, there's live music, there's comedy. I try to really show it all at the show. I everyone that I cast is a
Double entendre there in case you missed it. All right.
Yes, and I write little scripts for these now, so I will be bringing a scripted show for Riza as well.
Oh my gosh.
I'm very excited. And I should add that I was in Boston for Slut Trek 2025.
Holodeck, yes.
Yes, holodeck, and
Holodeck.
it really blew my mind. It was like like you said is as accurate as a love letter to Star Trek. And also I think just to this sort of like idic philosophy of Star Trek in terms of like in a celebration of like real diversity in all of the sexy ways.
Yes, thank you so, so much. And thank you for
Yes.
coming too. Oh,
Oh my God, I was honored to be there.
It is the year of Risa. That's amazing. Everybody grab your Horgon and mark your calendars.
Prepare for
We're gonna have
Jamahalone.
some Jamaharon. Okay, so today we are continuing our rewatch of the Star Trek films with Lanita, who had never seen them. So, most recently we covered Star Trek First Contact.
Mhm.
Great movie. And I think at the end, correct me if I'm wrong, Lanita, at the end, you were like really excited for the next film. You're like, what's happening next? Like, this was so good.
Damn Skippy.
So that's the energy we're going into with. Boom.
Fuck
Like,
yes.
yeah, hell yeah. Okay, great. So let's jump in. Star Trek Insurrection, released December 11th, 1998. So it was a Christmas season film.
Huh.
Screenplay by Michael Piller, story by Rick Berman and Michael Piller, producer Rick Berman, directed by Jonathan Frakes, of course, coming off the success of First Contact. So, um, I have this like synopsis here that I think I can kind of read and then like jump in and discuss as we go. Does that make sense, everybody?
Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
Got
Okay.
my notes.
As people who are watching us on YouTube may have guessed, I'm here in the duck blind. I'm one of the bad guys. Um,
Yes.
No, see, no, you're just in the duck blind. Why are we don't need
I'm
to
just,
label
yeah,
you
that's
yet.
true.
You're just
That's
in
true.
the start
Let's
of the
not get
movie,
ahead
you're
of
just in the
ourselves.
duck blind.
So Starfleet and the Sona are observing the Baku here on this beautiful planet, which is probably somewhere in northern California. Um, actually, I don't know where it was shot. And newsflash,
You're getting
Data
four
has.
East Coasters here trying to talk to you about California. We don't know.
I know. Data has gone rogue. He
Rogue.
is shooting. He's being shot at. He's jumping over people. He's throwing people into ponds. He shoots the duck blind, and now the people of Baku know that there are Starfleet and aliens on their world observing them. Dun dun dun. Um, I want to point out that I love that one of the critiques of this film is that it feels like a long episode. But I
Okay.
like that it pulls in things from the show, like the duck blind, like from
Who watches the
Yes.
Watchers?
Who Watches the Watchers. Thank you. Yeah. Um,
But why is that a bad thing? Because
oh no,
okay.
it's not.
No,
I
well, no,
said
no. I'm
critique, but
just in general, like the critiques of like, oh, it's a long episode, when the other side of that is this episode should have been longer, right? Like,
sure.
and in a bad way, like, oh, they rush things. In this, I feel like it was just the right amount of time, the right amount of subterfuge, the right amount of getting to know these people on this planet, learning why Data is the way he is and what like and it did feel familiar. It honestly, this movie felt the most Star Trek familiar because it's fully like next gen to
Yeah.
me. Like it was like this is Star Trek to me when I was watching it. Like I
Lucy
was
is
on.
is vigorously nodding.
I agree with you there. The reason this is my favorite Star Trek movie is because it feels like a two-part episode with a better budget. It's
Mm,
it feels so true to the plot of Star Trek where like there's it's not the highest stakes in the world. Like, no offense, they could kind of just warp away from that planet if they needed to.
Yeah.
Get
sure.
everybody off and warp away. Nothing's gonna happen. I don't need every movie to be like, the world's ending if we don't fix this. And
Right.
I love that about Insurrection. It's low stakes, but it's entertaining. It feels like Trek. There's a lot of those callbacks, like you said. Like, for me, it's kind of flawless, but I just like that part of it. I like nothing's really happening right now. Yeah.
Right. Where there's
So
no
much is
scenes on
happening right
Earth.
now. That's the thing. Nothing is happening, but so much is like I'm a look at everything. Like if I'm gonna watch something, I'm not doing something else on my phone or looking away from it. Nowadays, like they write stuff where it's like you have to. I was listening to some other podcast talking about how TV is now written to be background because they know that people are doing other
Oh
things
my gosh.
watching, quote unquote, watching it. So dialogue is a lot more descriptive of what is happening because you're assuming that people's eyes are not on the screen. For me, I want to see how someone says it. I want to see body language. I want to see surrounding background actors, what's happening. So I like the way you describe it as a two-parter. It is like a encounter at Farpoint smashed together. Give me 30 more minutes
Yeah.
on top of that.
Well, I appreciate that. So like if you, I like to think of these movies as though like from the standpoint of someone who maybe has not watched a single episode of Next Generation, like maybe they've only ever watched movies and no TV, right?
Mm.
And so they're
Yeah.
coming into this and they don't, I'm like, you have no idea so far in the movies until kind of now, the sort of potential lightheartedness of this crew. You see them in Generations on this sort of ship, and it's weird. They don't do a good job of it there, right? Because we always, that was the one thing we said we were watching First Contact a couple weeks ago, and we were like, where are their hobbies?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
right.
Like, how is Data's dancing lessons? Like, are they playing poker still? Is Beverly growing plants?
Right,
are they doing yoga? You know, like,
you don't have time for that when the Borg are taking over Deck 12 or whatever.
No, you can just fight.
So you get a fight. This is really the first that you get to see a little bit of that sort of lightness in them and the sort of banter of Picard and Beverly and Riker and Troy in their first appearance in the movie, trying to get his uniform on, and like it is not this is not a flawless movie, but it is so fun to get to see that on screen.
Right. Yeah, and new uniforms. Those dress uniforms, the whites.
Dress uniforms, are stunning. I like them. I like listen, there is something.
They're
classy.
naval, that's for sure. They're maritime.
They're very naval.
Okay, whatever. It's like the whole thing, like when you go to weddings and someone, I don't like the full white suit on a guy, or tux. I think that's tacky. But a white dinner jacket, like the old man and the old lady, when they renewed their vows, he wore like a white tuxedo jacket with the black tuxedo. It's like, that is classy. So that's what it reminded me of, like, and only Picard having like the gold situation, like the different, like he was all white and everyone else had a little extra panel in the middle to differentiate. He's extra fancy. And I love the headpiece. That was the funniest shit on the face of the planet. His face when she pulled the thing out that had no idea where it was going, and then when it went on his little head, I cackled out loud on the train because that's where I watched this.
And watching him balance that on his head as he turned around and stuff, like it was not built with like glue on it or something to stay on his head. It was
at all. And then cut to him putting it back on after he takes the phone call, like knowing that he has to put it back on his head to go back into the party. Perfection.
That moment made me think of all the way back in season 1, Angel 1, when Riker wears the like slutty costume, and he says he's like, this is a diplomatic mission. Like, when I met with blah blah blah, I wore the blah 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 furs or whatever. Like, this is no different. Like this is real Star Trek.
also
tactical Speedo I'm wearing. Okay. Yeah.
I also have to point out that when I was at Slut Trek last spring, there was a fan in the audience who wore the Riker costume from Angel 1. Let's say.
Classic. So let's talk about these new aliens we've just met. The Sona, who are, speaking of a better budget, so these aren't just forehead aliens. They have a full stretched face. It's very
Doctor Who.
Yeah, it's very Cassandra.
Moisturize. I immediately, I was like, oh.
Yes, so they're obsessed with looking younger, and getting rid of all the wrinkles.
Facelift culture, a la
Right.
Hollywood, bad facelifts all around.
And Data is attacking their ship, in his own little ship now that he's gone rogue. So the Enterprise heads to the Briar Patch, which is where this planet is, to see if they can figure out the problem and help Data so he doesn't get damaged or anything or killed or whatever, because, who knows. So Troy and Riker seem to be a little flirty even before they get to the planet. Let's be honest.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Then they head to the library, which is the first time we've seen the library on the ship. There was a cut scene with a librarian. Actually, she's in the credits. The Enterprise's librarian. What else is happening? Worf oversleeps. And we learned that Picard can detect a 12-micron misalignment of the technobabble.
And as low as a 3-micron. I was like, okay, sir, with your good ears. Quick question.
Yes.
Why was it ever stated, and I may have missed it, why Data was on this mission with the Badmiral and the face stretchies?
They never explain it.
Yeah, they never.
Okay, I just want to make sure that I did not, because sometimes I get so like I may miss a thing, but I also love the fact that it was like, he left his emotion chip behind, like
right,
like that is that's a
He
full
didn't
callback to he didn't pack it, he left it. It's like, because that was is he emotional? Nope, he was fully objective, left that sucker behind. Which I kind of love. Like, if you could just pop out certain things. Data.
It didn't bother me that we didn't know why Data was down there, but
no,
and
this
didn't bother me either. But Worf is conveniently there. He's
and
just
why
like,
was he there? They don't even like try to. They like whatever.
They don't.
Like they start to explain, and they're like, no.
They're like, oh, good, you're here this week. Join the mission. Wonderful. Okay. So Worf and Picard take off in a shuttle.
Mm-hmm.
They sing some musical theater with Data and subdue him.
Yes, musical theater saves the day.
I think it's really funny that Captain Picard only had to hit 2 buttons to get that song to play. So I don't know what 2 buttons he had where it's just HMS Pinafore is ready to go.
Yeah.
Like everything else, they like shoot a missile. They're like pressing a ton of things. Like you had 2 buttons musical. Like,
correct.
I like that.
Sing along.
I really like that. Yeah.
Sing along highlighted.
Yeah.
Worf sing. Worf's like,
one more music away from Wicked. Like they're right there. Just one more over. Yeah.
It was, well, that's for their karaoke nights. I mean, they had to follow the bouncing ball and everything.
It was great.
Did it really have a follow the bouncing ball?
Yes.
It literally did.
Yes. That's why I was like, oh, this is full on real karaoke. Like, that's why I was like, oh, who knows the words? And then I was like, oh, they cut to, and then Worf's like, I'm not doing that.
Worf's face in that scene was hysterical to me. I fucking
priceless. But that's what I mean. Comedy is back. Like the dry wit. I laughed out loud quite a few times in this movie with the snark and like little quippity quips. Very, very good writing.
So then our landing party goes down to, quote, free the hostages from the peaceful Baku. And so we meet the other aliens in this film, the Baku, who are essentially humans. Like they have no prosthetics or anything. And one of them is Donna Murphy, who I thought we were getting on the pod. I'm just kidding.
Sorry.
She was stunnerina. I was like, okay, you are the like beauty of the week in a very sultry, non-overtly sexy pastoral South. Not pastoral South. That sounded terrible.
Yeah.
Pastoral in the like, I was like, you're an idyllic agricultural planet,
French country.
I gotta say, I love her in this movie, and I forgot how good she is because she is like like we said in the intro, she's a theater legend. She's a Tony winner, and a lot of times you see these like theater actors make like sometimes maybe be too big for the screen, and her choices were tiny and subtle and quiet and
impactful.
I was rewatching this with Tim yesterday, and he was like, Donna Murphy really is a talented actress, isn't she?
Yeah, no, Colby, I was watching with Colby and he said the same thing.
Yeah, it's amazing. When he and I saw her in Into the Woods at Shakespeare in the Park, I leaned over and was like, that's Captain Picard's girlfriend. Just so we're clear.
I mean, girlfriend, more like lover.
Well, there were 2 kisses in the movie, both of which got cut,
Oh, really?
much to the chagrin of Donna Murphy and Patrick Stewart.
Oh, that's fascinating.
Here's the thing. I kind of like it without the kisses. I like that there was a moment where I was like, is he gonna go inside? Is she keeping that door open? But when she closed, I was like, damn.
Mm.
Okay. It's like, okay, we got another shot sometime else. But no, it was heavily implied. Like, don't worry. It's all good. I know they
Right.
smashed.
I think that it's like because he's not Kirk. He's not Kirk,
Right.
but he
No.
has those feelings and those impulses, and
But it's more romantical.
yeah, he's
Yeah, and
he's a deep feeling man.
he is. And I think Patrick Stewart wanted that range in the
Mm.
character. You know what I mean? I think he wanted to have a romantic storyline. I mean, they kind of did it with Lily in the last movie, Afro Woodard. Like, because then at the end, they like have this like kiss goodbye, and it's like, oh, that seems like a lot.
Weird.
Right?
Anybody notice anything about the Baku generally as like a population or as
They're
like a
white.
Super white.
White. They're towhead blonde children. White. Yes. But you want to know what's also interesting is that they didn't balk at when Wardy and Jorf showed up. Jorf. Wardy
Oh
and
my
Jorf.
God.
My God, my brain.
wow, she's having a stroke, ladies and gentlemen.
having a stroke. When Jordy and Worf showed up, they're just like, people. It didn't seem. This is the one time where I was just like, that's just who's living here. Like there was no like, they intentionally walked away because they wanted to be. It didn't feel like that.
Right.
It was a
Well,
rejection of
and
technology, not of people of color and aliens.
right, yeah, like they were spacefaring society before they decided to give it all up and live like the Amish. So they must have maybe they met Klingons 300 years ago. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So so that's the big mystery revealed that we aren't violating the
Prime Directive.
Prime Directive because these are actually a warp capable species. They just don't live that way. So Admiral Daughtery, or Badmiral Daughtery, congratulates the captain, telling him, now pack your bags and get the hell out of here. We just have a few loose ends to tie up.
Question.
Yes.
Can any admiral tell any captain what to do? Is that just rank where it's like it doesn't matter if you are necessarily in the same, I don't know, lineage? I don't know how like Navy, because I
Yeah.
didn't like him from the instant they did not bury him being a dick. Like I didn't know he was
No.
that, but he was a dick from the moment he was on the screen. And I was like, something wrong with you, buddy. What it is, I don't know, but I'm tracking it. So I want to know, like, can any admiral say, I order you to go somewhere else at any given time? Or do you have?
I think I know the answer to this. I
Yes.
think they need orders from Starfleet, but because he was doing some like shady shit, I think he was
Yeah.
just like pushing his authority, being like, but I think
I am
they need
acting
to
on
have a
behalf
proof
of
it.
Starfleet. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, they need to
Right.
have some sort of chain of.
That's what I thought. And I was like, he's really trying to be like, okay, great, thanks so much. She did the thing,
Yeah.
y'all can go now. And of course, Spidey sense. Picard's like, Ramadama. We got to figure out why Data.
Well,
Mind you, when they knocked him out, I was like, damn, that was that was a brilliant plan. Like just
yeah.
the maneuver of it all, distracting by musical theater, and didn't realize that he had an off switch that way. I didn't. Had we ever been introduced to a remote control off Data?
No, they didn't explain it very well. I mean, it's just like a little bit of technobabble that Worf came up with this thing that would subdue him, that would,
Knock him out.
techno the MacGuffin. One other thing, I didn't say this because I was looking up the actor's name because I forgot it, but I knew that Dougherty was a bad guy. First of all, he's an admiral, and they're all bad. But he's played by Anthony Zerbe, who has, I don't think, ever played a good guy. Like,
What else has he been in?
He was a Bond villain. He was in License to
That
Kill. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I
That
looked him
tracks.
up and it was like his list of credits was so long that it was like too long to make any sense of. Like he's a working actor.
Working actor.
He's like
Gotcha.
90
yeah.
now. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
and still kicking, I think.
He's still super
Okay.
hot.
Oh.
We know you love the silvers.
Listen,
Okay.
you and
Silvers
you
pay
and
the bills.
Picard.
Mm.
Okay, so meanwhile, Riker
Meanwhile.
is super horny.
I loved it. It was like, oh, now we get to see behind the curtain of their love. Like, oh, I'm coming for a session. Let me lay on your couch. Do 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 do. And then when she said yuck, I screamed. I screamed. She was like, I never kissed you with a beard. I was like, oh,
Okay,
but you
because
did.
this is a question for Lucy because I feel like
Yeah.
she's maybe a subject matter expert here.
Uh-huh.
She says to Riker, "Ooh, I've never kissed you with a beard before," and then kicks him out.
Yes.
Yeah.
Is that true?
I think so, because he didn't have a beard when they met on Beta Z, and then he didn't have a beard all season 1. Did they get a little kiss together in the second episode, the Naked Now, or their version of the Naked Now? Did they ever
I don't
kiss?
think so.
Maybe, I don't know.
They just
I don't
have
think
that
so.
moment where she speaks to him in her mind. I do
Oh, right.
believe that he was clean shaven at that point. I do
Right.
think it's funny though that Jonathan Frakes directed this movie and he's like, you know what? Let me get laid and shaved, please, if you don't mind. I'm gonna just, if you don't
Correct.
mind, Marina, can you get a little straight edge? Like it's so over the top and just so I love that. I love that. I'm like, you really did just like self-insert. Great.
God.
I'm busy. I'll sip some champagne while you're answering
Yeah.
this phone call that has nothing to do with me.
So there's like no. So really, the question to me is there has been no off-camera hookup between Riker and Troy in all of their years serving together. There's been no like.
That seems crazy. Like,
Oh,
no.
I'm bringing in
Well,
props.
Emzadi.
Everyone loves props in a podcast. So what I have in my hands are 2 books. It's the Amzadi series by Peter David. A lot of people don't consider the novels to be canon, but this explains basically all of Deanna and Riker's relationship, and then Deanna and Worf's relationship that we never really get to talk about.
Oh.
Highly recommend. All the answers are in here.
Wait, is that wait? I did.
Look as Mike Jones pulls it out as well. God, I love
I
it.
also have props.
Oh my god. Okay, so 2 of our panelists now are holding up Imzadi books, the same book.
Okay.
But wait, is it
Everybody
Imzadi
grab
part
your
2?
Imzadi books. Yeah, there's 2. So there's 2. There's Triangle Imzadi 2 is the follow-up. This one made me cry at the end. It's actually insanely sad at the end. It's really good. Peter David was a fantastic author. He just passed away last year.
I remember this.
One of the best sci-fi authors I've ever read.
I read some of his Next Generation books when I was a kid for
I'm
sure.
like addicted to these little novels, and the Imzadi series is incredible. Not to to take us off topic.
We always love going off topic.
Yeah, the answers about their relationships are all in here. Worf's as well, which is interesting. Lanita, I had a question for you. You were asked, you mentioned something about not knowing why Worf was on the ship with all of them. Do you know where this falls in the like Deep Space Nine timeline?
No, nope. I just know that he's there because they said you're not going back to Deep Space Nine. Okay, here's the thing about me. I may have watched all the things. I don't have a timeline in my head. I need Mike Jones to create that so that I know when episodes fall within. What you got?
I understand. I use this chronology. Another
Yeah.
I'll put that back down.
Wait. So Lucy, you have the answer to this question.
Oh yeah. So where are we?
Can I guess and then you can tell me the answer?
Yes.
I think that it's between season 6 and 7 of Deep Space Nine.
Yes, ish. I'm not sure exactly what episode it is. It is in the middle of the Dominion War.
Right.
This is actually right after Jadzia dies, I'm pretty sure.
Yes.
So this, just to give everybody a summary of what's happening to Worf, his wife just died. The Dominion War is happening, and he has a huge pimple. He's having like a really bad time.
That zit is huge. It's
Yeah,
like his
that's
face is peeling.
yeah, the
He's-
sequences of events is just not good for him right now.
Right,
Yeah.
and he's
Earns
having to,
those aggressive
to deal with
tendencies.
his wife reincarnated in a new, less competent body.
So when he comes back to
Yeah.
Deep Space Nine, that's what he's about to deal with.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm gonna
That
double
makes
check, but I'm
sense.
like fairly certain it's right in between there.
Okay, so what I read today in my day of not working at my job was that there was a reference in the script where they mention, like, they give him condolences, and
Oh.
Rick Berman was like, this is a downer. People who
Yeah.
don't know Deep Space Nine, people who
Won't
don't know
get
the
it.
details
Yeah.
are going to be confused, and it is not serving this story.
I think that was a smart choice.
I agree
guess.
and I don't, because if they had just mentioned like, oh, I'm sorry, but your dead wife, he also lost the mother of his son, who wasn't necessarily his wife, but to a reader who or to a watcher who hasn't seen Deep Space Nine, they might just think that they mean
Kalar.
her.
Yeah.
Kalar
Yeah.
from what season
Yeah.
3 of TNG. I
It
wish
could
that
have
they
just
had
been a
done that
line or
right
two.
away.
Like, it doesn't
Yeah,
have to be
sorry
you
about your
know,
wife and move on. Oh, sorry about your pimple too, and like move on, you know?
condolence.
Well, you know
Anything.
what's really funny is that in general we don't get this a lot in Star Trek. We got this one moment. This is an irrelevant callback, but this is what we do.
Nothing is ever irrelevant.
The season finale of Strange New Worlds that we maybe
I
didn't
have never watched a single
universally love,
episode.
but his girlfriend becomes a statue in for eternity, and number one comes in and sits with him like a full body width apart and puts a drink
Oh, Strange New
down.
Worlds, yes. Not
Strange New Worlds. And
You have
just
Sorry,
seen
I
all
heard
that.
I heard Stranger Things in my head, and I was like,
sorry,
oh, no,
did I
no,
say it
no.
wrong? Yeah.
No.
No, me.
All right. And but that scene in Strange New Worlds where Pike is in his quarters and number one sits not next to him, but a little space from him, and they sit together and she gives him a drink and they have a drink together in silence. And that is saying this crew supports one another through grief and loss.
Right.
And that is not something that we get overtly ever in Star Trek. I think we know it because we know all of the people involved. We know that if they understood that he had lost his wife,
that was my
they
question.
would.
Do they? Did they? No.
How can they not?
How could? Do they send out a broad space communication? He's on Deep Space Nine. Is it like, hey guys, Worf's wife kicked the bucket. Hey guys, Jadzia Dax, who you've never fucking met, is now in a neutral body. Do you know, like, when you think, I don't know.
It's, I mean, the real world clashes into my brain too much because I understand, because, you know, there was a whole wedding, and how many Enterprise crew members were at Worf's wedding? You know what I mean? Like, you think that they would have figured that out somehow. So yeah, they probably weren't at the funeral either. But yeah. And yeah, it's because the world feels so real to us.
Yes.
That these little
You think
things
that-
make us like tweak a little. But so continuing on, they wake up Data. The last thing he can remember is following the Baku children and their CGI pets into.
Well, the thing he remembers is singing, and Picard says, "No, before that."
Oh, you're right. You're right. He did remember singing. So they go down on the planet. They retrace his steps, and they find the Baku boy named Artem, and his little palm-sized.
What is that? I want
CGI friend. I know.
I want that creature.
Like a little moopsie.
Yes. That is correct.
Okay. So a lot of the movie jumps between the planet and the ship and the planet and the ship. So as I'm reading through, I'm going to also be doing some jumping back and forth. So back on the Enterprise, this is when Riker and Troy get in the hot tub. We already talked about that. Back down on the planet, they discover a cloaked ship at the bottom of a lake. It is a holodeck ship with a recreation of the village inside of it.
Wild.
A few loose ends, my ass.
Which was great. I was like, damn, yes, spicy Picard.
Um, we also
Why
learned
is it
that
at the
Data
bottom of
is
the lake and not just in orbit if it's
why
close?
not just in orbit? Well, because then we wouldn't get to find out that Data is designed to act as a flotation device,
Correct. But also,
which doesn't make
Di-
any sense.
which is hilarious. It's hilarious.
It's just a joke.
It is great. Because at that point we don't know the twist of it all. And because we don't know the twist of it all, they had to do a little extra in my mind, right? Like you have you have to know that even though these people have rejected technology, they know what it looks like, what it sounds like, what it feels like. So you got to put it closer and away versus like in plain sight. I don't know. I'm just trying to think the way that a villain would think in this instance.
Also, I love that
And-
scene where she says, "I know what a hologram is."
Right.
Right.
Yes.
I'm not stupid. I've already
I'm
told
not
you
stupid.
we rejected this shit. I know what the
Right.
fuck it is.
I,
Was this
and also,
before or
it's like
after
such
he
a
knew how old
great,
she was?
such a great acting moment for Donna Murphy too, because you're like that you can get a laugh on a line where you're doing actually the least amount of acting.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean she blocks his mansplaining like immediately.
Brilliantly.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
dude, okay, moving on.
The thing about the ship is it's cloaked and underwater. Like if it didn't have a cloak, I would think, yeah, it needed to be underwater so they wouldn't see it, but it does have a cloak.
Because
So
if it was uncloaked underwater and they're idyllic. They're
that's
fishing.
true. They could
You go
swim.
underground.
That's true.
Just because she
Okay,
doesn't know how to
okay.
swim. I know no, this is I am the audience. I am the perfect audience for this because I'm like, of
Yes,
course
you're
it's
right.
cloaked. Why wouldn't it be? You're not gonna leave it out there for somebody to find. And you leave one person on it to defend it if somebody eventually breaks in.
Which they did not do.
Yeah,
Right.
Who was on the ship?
They pew pewed one of the
One of the
stretchers.
the Sona like shoots at them. Little firefight.
Oh, okay.
And
All
that's
right.
I
why
don't
they
know what
had to
he's
throw
doing there.
making sure that it's all you may be excuse me, you may had to have, mind you, when something is cloaked, you cannot transport. So you would have to have somebody there to take the cloak off, to do the things, to get it to where hello, do you not watch Star Trek? Like this is canon, people. Like
Yes.
you've got to reset the phase variants and then we can shoot them. I'm just saying, like
Reverse the polarity.
exactly.
Right.
That's what I mean. That's why the person and he didn't last long because they are expert marksmen.
Yep.
Yeah.
So now Riker's face is as soft as an android's bottom.
Baby.
And
smooth.
Can we pause and talk about an android's bottom?
always.
I'm right here, okay? You can refer to me by name.
And I love that he's like, the Data's like, and then he's got it. He feels it. He's like, not really.
There's also like a moment when during the flotation scene where there's a really loud intake of air sound.
Mm-hmm.
I really wish they had just had him like open his mouth and make it funnier, because where's that air going in?
Oh, good question.
Just wondering. Every time I watch it, I'm like, where's it going in?
It's not up his butt because his butt is underwater.
That's what I'm saying.
Right,
So like,
right.
like give us the visual then, because
Yeah.
I just have questions now.
Maybe
So-
it's gas in the positronic network. Okay, go ahead.
Maybe.
So
I know, I'm trying to think about it. Okay. So the Enterprise isn't going anywhere. The captured Sona refused medical treatment.
and to talk.
Meanwhile,
Mhm.
the Baku are in great shape. Like, we should be so lucky.
Mhm.
Picard wants to dance around his quarters to Latin music, which I want to think I know that it's because of the, pheromones, whatever, coming from the planet. But like, I want to think that Picard always does that. That's like his like.
But wait,
you know-
wasn't that his
But that-
where he's like, he's doing it and then he catches himself doing it and then he's like, wait,
wait,
I'm not
because
behaving normal.
but not behaving normal. I'm on a mission. Like that's the dancing happens after we've saved the day, right? Like he
He
rewards
hasn't
himself
earned
with
that yet.
dance. Yeah, he hasn't done his job yet. He makes his Earl Grey tea, takes off the uni, and says, "Alexa, play Mambo number 5." And he goes, "Da da 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 da," and then he goes to bed. That's how I
I
see
love how
it.
he corrects the computer too. He's like, no, something Latin.
Like this is
Well, and I
not
love that
what.
it's Mambo number 5 that like that that Picard would be putting on that sort of like parade of slut names.
Correct.
So he
A little
has
bit
this
of Monica. Okay.
realization that his face is also as smooth as an android's bottom, which doesn't make sense because he should have a 5 o'clock shadow. So then he beams down to ask Mother Gothel how old she is.
I knew you were going to. I knew it. I knew it was going to happen eventually. Well, I'm 300.
Damien, do you
Yeah,
get this reference?
No, explain it to me.
really?
Um, Mother Gothel is Rapunzel's mother in the Tangled movie, voiced
Oh, okay.
by Donna Murphy.
Donna Murphy,
Oh,
the witch who
And
captures her in a tower,
right, and
puts
she's
her in a
very
tower.
old and uses the magic to make herself young again.
Correct.
So
Brilliant.
that's a role that, she
She was born to
was
play.
born to play, right?
That's probably, they were like, who should we get? She did play a 300-year-old woman back in Insurrection.
She
Let's
did
see
it
if she's
so well.
available. Mm-hmm. God, it's great.
We learn that the Baku traveled to this world 300 years ago and then stopped aging. So it is basically a fountain of youth.
Mm-hmm.
Which I think is a great plot device. Like I think that's one of those tropes that even though it's been done over and over, it's still fascinating because I think there's something about the human psyche that we desire that. You know what I mean? Like youth is wasted on the young, they say.
It is.
Yeah, amen. Uh, so,
Which
oh, sorry.
No, I was gonna say, which leads to the joke of how old are you? 70. He's like, no, I'm 12. Which again lets us know
Yes.
that you get to be a kid, and then when you are
mhm.
mature, whether that's 18 or 21, that's when it sort of slows the progression. Like, not that these people are not gonna age, they're not gonna get decrepit, but they are gonna get older, like, which I thought was fascinating.
Which
Yeah.
like bears explaining as to why, like, first of all, there is this, they put this child in jeopardy, right? So we're
Mm-hmm.
supposed to care about the child. We're
Right.
supposed to care that he gets rescued and that and he behaves like a child. So that does bear explaining. But also, this is Data's journey in the movie, is finding his
Yep.
inner child. So it doesn't make sense if he's finding his inner child with
With
a
a
young
70.
looking 72-year-old.
Correct.
Oh, that's true.
Like he's actually a child.
That that actor is now 38 years old. I'm just
Right.
saying.
And he did other things from there. Apparently, he was
What do you
on.
mean he's
He's like
38 years
did
old?
like WB sitcoms or I don't
The
know.
little
Like,
boy, the
is
actor who played
today.
the little boy is 38 years old today. That's how old this movie is. Like once I realized that, it like blew my mind.
Wow.
Donna
Okay.
Murphy looks exactly the same.
Correct.
Let's just say that.
Yes.
She just staying on the
Yes.
planet.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Actually, maybe a year ago, I was like at a large family function at a restaurant in New York City where Donna Murphy was sitting at the table next to us, clearly on a date with a much younger
Oh.
man. Or it felt like she was on a date, maybe not clearly. But our roommate was with us, and he's like, I need to talk to her. I need to say hello to her. He's from Argentina. That's my Argentinian. he's like, I should talk to her, right? We should talk, right? And we're like, do not.
Not.
Do
No.
not.
Right.
Now,
Right.
if you finish
She
your
doesn't
meal,
wanna be
when she
bothered.
finishes her meal, and you happen to be walking in the same, you can be like, quietly, I love your work. I hope you have a wonderful evening. And that's it. And you go away, and she'll be like, oh, they left me alone. Get a little zhuzh, I'm famous, and go on about your business.
And if they're Marina Sirtis, they look at you and say, go away, bitch.
Go away, bitch. Exactly. I don't care. I don't need
Lanita
your-
did that to Marina Sirtis at a convention. And she didn't say go away, bitch, but that was
No.
that
It was
the
her like,
subtext.
it was like, okay, Get in line.
Yeah. She's like, this line's for paying customers. Like, was the attitude.
That's great. I was like, heard.
Okay.
Understood.
You get it. Okay. So Bad Admiral Dougherty and Ruafo, who's the head. So I realized as I wrote this is the first time I'm writing that character's name. He's been a big deal before this. He's the main
Abraham
guy.
We have to say F. Murray Abraham,
who is also a big theater actor.
Who is also a big theater actor and an Oscar winner for Amadeus. Go see Amadeus if you've never
Correct.
seen it.
How about this? I knew who it was through the face stretch. I was like, I know your fucking face. Yeah. It was because he has a very distinct face.
Yes.
I was like, why do I know you? And I didn't pause to go look it up or anything like that. So thank you for telling me. But I was like, I know who this is. Like, I could see his face behind the stretch. Which, can we just talk about that just a scotch?
Michael Westmore, bravo.
Mm-hmm.
It was
makeup artist. Yes.
Terrifyingly, disgustingly amazing. Kind of reminded me of Fifth Element with Gary Oldman and the way that he wears his little hat thing on his head. And then, of course, Doctor Who moisturized me. But in a way of like Cat Lady from LA who like wanted to be a cat, like super bad plastic surgery where they keep pulling and they keep pulling and they keep pulling.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, and then they suck stuff out. Oh, it was just.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I want to say about that makeup too is that you see in Star Trek a lot that forehead aliens, they try to figure out ways to not have to do the full Quark, right? Quark being a main character, they invested a lot of money. He gets a full head, and the head has no visible seams. It covers the back of his head, so he can stand and do a 360, and you see skin only. It's a really amazing thing, but I'm sure for budgetary reasons and for like speed of like doing it, they can't do that with everyone. So like you see Worf has like a wig that covers the back of his head. Like what the question is always like, how do you cover a full head with all of this, right? And you see like if you look at Deep Space Nine, Rom has like the sort of like back of the head veil, right?
Correct.
The fabric.
And so these guys have some sort of like cap contraption that I don't care what it was. It worked with a larger look. They didn't like. I saw that because I pay attention to aliens and Star Trek and how they look, but they solved that problem. I thought it was not elegant, but it was like it was
a
elegant. Fully realized look that we have never seen before. That was its own thing.
Correct, and each of them look different.
Yeah.
I feel like the makeup and character design for this movie is so far beyond the last two movies that were in this series. Like even in the beginning when Picard's getting ready in his dress uniform, the Bolian makeup on the guy trying to stop him.
He gets one line.
Absolutely flawless. The other dignitaries in their size difference from everyone else, like that's something we don't see enough because not every species we encounter is going to be humanoid. So even just having that drastic height difference in the drastic width difference really like did a lot. And also I can't help but mention Data's makeup is so perfect in every shot in this movie. It makes my heart hurt watching some of the other episodes when it's like his poor eyes are so bloodshot. Give that man an eye drop, please. What are you doing to him? Like they get his waterline in this with white. They give him better contacts that are a little more uncanny.
Wait, I'm sorry, Lucy, explain what is his waterline? What does that mean?
A waterline is that little line on the inside of your eye, like where
you put your eyeliner if you're smart.
Yeah, and it's like your eyelashes are like right before it, you know what I mean? So
got it.
They tight line his eye, like they don't do that in the show. It just looks so good. It's distracting for the whole movie. That's all.
It also doesn't help the series that it was never meant to be seen in high def. So once they remastered them, you can often see his makeup like stop on the neck and or bleed onto the costume or
There's one episode where they show this much of his arm. They should have shaved that man down.
Oh,
I don't want to talk about that anymore.
Wait, what? Is he hairy?
He's the hairiest man in the world.
Brett
Oh my
Schreiner?
God, he's covered in hair.
He's like
His
Robin
arms
Williams,
are
hairy.
So
right.
yes, yeah, it's bad. Yeah, it's so visible in one scene, and the makeup's like
That's amazing.
bumped onto the bottom.
Oh,
Oh,
Bears, if you're
drop
listening, we love
quality
you
back
too.
there.
It's not data.
Yeah,
Right.
exactly.
It's just not data.
Yeah.
I would be interested to know that, like, as like a production question, is like, what was some of the like makeup actors, like you observed it in data, like, do they do Worf's makeup differently for the big screen? Like, how much of a difference in the way
They
that they
must.
do it so that it can hold up to all that? Because like you said, it was not designed for high def, and I don't, these were shot on film, I assume, but they're meant to be,
Huge
larger
screens.
than a full
Yeah.
screen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Although I do think this is the first film where they went all CGI with the ships. Like the Enterprise,
Except the Enterprise.
Except
is that true?
I believe
Well, I knew
so.
they built the Enterprise E for the last film, but then they did some modifying of it, and they modified it digitally. They didn't modify the model, I thought.
Oh, interesting.
But I could be wrong. But it's a 1998 movie, so there are times when the CGI looks a little computer gamey-ish. Like when the Sona ship unveils, it's like,
It's
whatever.
sales. It's
Sails. It's like solar sails or whatever. Anyway, whatever. I'm nitpicking. Okay, so Admiral Dougherty and Rotho enter the captain's ready room, demanding that he release the Sona officers and the departure of the Enterprise. Picard's like, hey, what about that hollow ship? Then argument ensues, and Marotho like pops his it in anger, is what I wrote.
Yes.
His forehead splits.
Correct. You stretch too far, buddy. You're not moisturized. You are
you're
not moisturized at all.
Yeah, gross. But we learn another piece of the puzzle here, that the Sona have the technology to harvest the Fountain of Youth MacGuffin from the rings, but it's a Federation planet. So that's why the Federation and the Sona are in this partnership. Which still, I don't know. I get that. I don't know that. I keep saying he's a bad admiral, but I don't know that Dougherty started out nefarious. I think that he probably saw this amazing technology.
Slippery slope.
Right. The Sonar were like, this will change everything.
Everything.
Like, the benefits far outweigh the
600
cons.
people.
And it's 600 people, and they're not killing them, and they're just gently moving them. Like, I mean,
Yes,
I get it.
we know. We know that there's a caveat on what you're
it's
saying.
like one thing after another, and before you know it, he's in over his head, and he's like, "Oh yeah, I could be the one court-martialed," But
see, here's see, that's that bullshit line, because here's the thing: once you found out that it was on some other, that is when you send a secret message over subspace saying, "Hey, they want something else." So, send in the cavalry. But because you want fame and glory, and you want to be young and not have your face stretched, that's why you kept going with it. So no poo-poo to you.
Wait, do we think, what was the Badmiral's motivation? That was my question. Because if it was
everyone's motivation is to what? Be
young and pretty?
And not have to, like, because here's the thing. He's seen both. He's seen the sonar in there stretching, and they see the what them people's down there, Baku in there just beauty, and he's looking at himself in the mirror.
Yeah,
saying,
see,
do I want to stretch, or do I want to de?
Maybe
that's the thing. Like, I realize that he's our secondary villain, right? Ruafo is the lead villain. But I feel like for that Badmiral to make sense I wanted like a little bit more like what specifically about him makes him want that? Like, is he like the Sona want it because they've lost their, they've lost their
Internal youth.
anti-aging,
Hmm.
all the things that they
Mm-hmm.
had on that planet they've lost, and they're sick, and they're like, but what is it like? He has no special motivation towards that other than just like it could help billions of people. He's like staked
Right.
out a position and he's kind of stuck there.
But also, but when Picard was dressing him down, for lack of a better term, when he was
Mm-hmm.
saying, "Oh, it's 600," when
Right.
the Admiral said it's just 600 people, and Picard went on the best moral rant that you could to say it's 600 today, then it's 1,000, then it's 50, blah 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 blah.
Right. Right. How many people does it take?
Correct. And when he also, in conjunction with saying to the Baku, what you have here is worth more than however many bars of pressed latinum, which, is always confusing to me because we're in an age where money doesn't matter, but latinum is important, whatever, Ferengi. So I think that, yes, helping people, also knowing what it's worth. Three, there's always a come up. Like all
Mm.
good intentions are paved, what is it? Good intentions are paved with gold, bad intentions, whatever that saying is. He may have started with very small good intentions. And then when he realized what it actually was,
Mm-hmm.
Right.
come on.
Well, here's, Damien, did you want him to have like a backstory,
A
like the
detail,
like the bad guy
something,
in Year of Hell, where he's trying to keep doing things so that he eventually saves his wife? Like you wanted like
something
this,
personal,
yeah,
Okay.
something personal.
something
Interesting.
personal. Which also same thing for Ruafo. For F.
Well,
Murray Abraham. Do you
What do
know?
you
Like,
mean
yes, it's
in
something
clearly
that
personal?
personal because he's like on a vendetta against, the people that,
his
but there's
parent,
no,
his
it just
other,
is
yeah.
it's like this particular race has this particular vendetta, and he just happens to be the leader. And he, but I just felt like there should have been something more specific to the lead villains in terms of like what personally something personal to them
Hmm.
more than just like this
Mm.
is what happened to my people and we're mad about it.
Yeah, I mean, there are weak villains in that way. I mean, if you compare them to like
Are they?
Kanunian Singh or
But are they? But here's the thing. I even noted this like at 1:13 into the movie time. I was like, I know, I get it. This was before they revealed the whole thing about them being the same. Because I was like,
yeah.
oh, Romulans, Vulcans, that type of thing. But not in the same way. In this way, like we learned that they chose to leave. That is all that they needed because, as I understand it, they said, we want to go back and explore space. We want technology.
Hmm.
They said, gotta go, you're leaving, like you're not coming back. It seems like they went out, they realized like they had their Rumspringa, and when they tried to come back, they said, nah, you can't taint us with your ways, versus it's a sanctioned thing to go. So saying that you can't come back home for whatever reason, why you wanted to come
Mm.
back, that's what? I can't
Did
come
they
back
want to come
home.
back? Did they try to come
That is,
back?
yes.
I missed that.
Yeah, that's what I was having. I wasn't quite sure, like, also, like,
Yes.
how many of them were there and how many
I
ships do they
guarantee you. I
have?
guarantee
And
you enough. I
and how
guarantee
did
you enough.
they subjugate two other species in the time that they were away?
They've been alive
Right.
for 300 years. It could have been
Yeah.
100 years. Number one, ready? What did we
Mhm.
learn? You get to be a kid. When you reach maturity, that's when the de-aging sort of stops. So imagine you get to this planet, you're in your teens or early preteens, and then you realize, and you've had technology. Maybe you're a kid on a spaceship and you come to
Mm.
this planet and they're like, nope, we're giving up all,
Nope. Yep.
there's no more replicators. We're
They're
going to
like, put
use
your
our
phone in the
hands.
bag. It's dead.
Correct. It's gone. We are yondering that bitch. It's
No
out. And
screens.
this is how we're living. So you have to live this way until for 6, 10, 12 years. And then you realize, wait, I'm still smart. I know how to do this. We still have ships. Mind you, they still have technology. So there's probably a ship on the other side of the damn planet that the elders know about, that the kids, someone knew about,
sure.
blah, blah, blah. Who's to
Right,
say that
right,
this
Moana.
600 people wasn't 1,200? Yes, got to go to the other side of the island. Who's to say
Right.
there wasn't 1,200 people and 600 of them were like,
Mm.
we don't want to do this anymore? Old, young, ancient. Do you know, like, that's how I look at it, where it's like one person's like, I'm leaving, 5 more people like, I want to go with you. And you can't come back and taint us with
It
your
really does
work
not
travel.
reflect well on the Federation in terms of like background checking their allies.
No, not at
No.
all.
You're like, where did this species come from? Like, what planet did they originate from? Like, how did they get to be where they? What is their history before? Like,
We don't do
Yeah.
that. We just ask a couple of questions and say, sure, come on in.
Yeah, do
You
you
can
have
help
warp
us? Cool.
drive? All right.
Right.
You're in.
Yeah.
You know, once people are promoted to a certain level, they just stop thinking.
Correct.
In Starfleet.
That is correct.
But Picard has not been promoted to that level yet. He is still thinking, and he decides to take the pips off his uniform,
Baby.
and go rogue.
I was like, oh shit. Well, Captain said, I watched them all come off, I again screamed. I was like, yes, because I knew it. And then
He's taking off his badge and throwing it on the captain's
correct,
desk. You know?
correct. Like, here's my gun. Here, I'm out.
Right.
And then when that door opened, it was literally like the end of Endgame when those little portals started opening. When that door opened and they were standing there, I was like, fuck yes, yes.
Let's
And
go.
again, funny. This doesn't usually happen at 2 a.m. Like, just it's such like these little things are such smart writing, and they're all
Yeah.
standing like, we going. Nobody had a uniform on. Where are we going?
Right.
Shore leave. Let's rock. Oh, so good.
The ship nerd in me was also very happy to finally see the captain's yacht used.
Yes. Which supposedly he had on the Enterprise D as well, just we never saw it.
Yeah. It's
There
that
was
little
no need.
oval. Just like the Wave Runner underneath. Is that the name of it? Underneath the Voyager, which we never saw them use, and they built the Delta Flyer instead for some reason. Whatever. That's a different episode. So, yes, the main cast is ready to rebel too. Saddle up, lock and load. Riker
Yep.
takes the Enterprise to get help. The Sona pursue, and our other heroes beam down to evacuate the Baku into the hills and caves.
Do we think that did we have a thought about how he said for Geordi and Riker to go, and not like Deanna or Beverly? The fact that he sent number 1 and engineering, like, I was excited about it. I was like, you didn't send the women all. You were go, ladies, go use your emotions to make them to see. It was like, oh no, I'm taking Deanna and Beverly. They're gonna be able to. They're marksmen. They're good. Like,
Sure.
it was just interesting choice. I just was like, huh.
Well, you leave your number 1 in charge in command of the Enterprise. I get that, and then
Correct.
engineer stays with the ship. Like Geordi,
Yeah.
who better is gonna keep the
Right.
Enterprise in one piece than Geordi.
Right. He knows how to eject the warp core.
Brilliant. I
Um.
always love when warp cores get ejected.
I always think of Shax on lower decks now.
Oh yeah, I'm wanting to eject the warp core.
Yeah.
I just thought of this just now. When Picard made that decision for who's doing which mission, I wonder if he was weighing which is the more dangerous, because the Enterprise is tiny in comparison to those Sona ships.
Mhm.
And they're not. I mean, that's not a safe mission that he sent them on. But
Neither of these
neither
missions are safe.
neither is evacuating the people. But if we didn't have the women on the planet, we wouldn't have the boob line.
So funny.
Yeah.
How do we feel about the boob line? I read an article that was very angry about it because that's not how they talk.
Turnaround is fair play. Are you kidding me? Like,
What was the article? Tell me.
oh,
There was I read an article of Den of Geek from Den of Geek, which is a website that does reviews a lot of these
They're
things that really deeply trashed this movie. And
Oh, they didn't like it. Oh,
they didn't
I
like
see.
it. Yeah,
I thought you meant like from the
Because-
actors,
no.
because it's funny.
It is funny because here's the thing. What men are so stupid. Like, listen, I stand in the mirror sometimes with my tits out and I raise my hands and oh, they're my 18-year-old tits and here are my 45-year-old tits. It just is what it is. Like, gravity happens. And yeah, if these suckers could
I,
get taunt again and raise up, I'd be excited
Oh, yeah.
too.
I do that, but with my gut.
What do you mean? Like,
Like here's
like, are we like what are we talking about? Like, it's brilliant because honestly, that is how women talk to each other. That's the
Yeah.
thing.
oh yeah.
Oh yeah, that'd be if that was happening to me, I'd be like, "Do you know? Have you noticed this?" Yeah,
Yeah,
oh yeah, that
are your
feels
tits
like
getting
a
tight?
real line. Yeah,
It really was,
yeah,
truly.
yeah.
Well, they get to talk like real people. And on the show that language is always so elevated
Mm-hmm.
that and I haven't seen the new Academy show yet. I mean, it premieres tomorrow as we're recording this, but I've heard from people who saw it that there will be people who are upset that the language is so modern.
Yes.
And I'm like, that doesn't make sense to me. Like, let them talk like human beings. Like, like they're easier to relate to if they're real
Correct.
people and talk like real people and like that their boobs are getting.
Well, and I think we can count on. I can think of 2 occasions ever where we have listened to Deanna and Beverly have any kind of
Girl talk.
Right. Right.
the
And-
ghost
and not
episode
about a
and the
man.
yoga and the stretching scene.
And those didn't pass the Bechdel test. At least this
Right.
did.
Right. I'm like, how many of the scenes between Deanna and Beverly have been dramatized in Slut Track?
Well, definitely the stretching scene, and
Have you not done anything with Sub Rosa yet?
uh, there is one. Yes, yeah.
Okay.
Jessica Lee Scary has a great Sub Rosa number.
Nice.
Noted.
I do like in that scene when you just see Data kind of watching them both say that, and
Yeah.
then he turns around and says it exactly the same way to work. Because as an autistic woman, I feel very seen by that. I have definitely been like, oh, let me try that line real quick. It's so perfect, and the comedic timing is so good because he doesn't even get the full line out before they start getting like shot out. So like,
Yeah.
I just really love that moment.
Well, if
That's
I'm being
smart.
honest, like if I was on a Fountain of Youth planet, I would love if my boobs got a little firmer as well. I mean, it's
Heck yeah.
Not that we care about these things nowadays.
not in this day and age.
Right, exactly. Not that we care about these things in this day and age. My summary gets a little bit blurry here because the scenes on the planet are kind of repetitive in that they're just hiding and
Running.
being attacked and hiding and being
Mhm.
attacked.
But it's cool to watch some people get tagged and zapped out.
Yeah, I mean the bad
Whole
guys have
swaths of
drones.
people.
Yeah.
I had a
Um,
question for you, Lanita,
yeah.
actually.
Oh,
So they're talking about how they're following the Kelbonite deposits
yeah.
to get into the caves because it's shielding. Do you remember when else Kelbonite has protected the
Fuck no.
Enterprise D crew?
Why would I know that? Nope.
Yeah.
Kelbonite was like one of my wake words when I heard it, and I was like, that's what helped protect them from the crystalline entity, but it's something else. Kelbonite in combination with Fistrium is what protected them from the crystalline entity, and it is also what like prevents their tricorders from working and everything like that. But I just thought that was a fun little moment. It was a little like earworm for me where I was like, oh, I know that mineral, that fake mineral. And yep,
Well,
I looked it up and that's where it was
I
from.
love that that's an earworm for you. that is
The night.
but also that's like so in canon consistent. Like it makes
Yeah.
perfect sense that like
Mhm.
They can't
could have
read
said
us. They
anything.
can't get to. They could have, but what did they do? They went back to the dictionary, to the glossary, and said, "What is the thing that shields us?" Okay, Calvinite. It was
Right.
repetitive though, but it was great watching swath of people.
Oh yeah,
Pop,
no, it
pop,
was
pop.
fine. It's just summarizing it gets repetitive.
Yes, they were running. They were taken. They were shot at.
Right.
They stopped.
Right.
can I highlight a cave moment that I loved?
Oh please.
Yes.
So
Love a good
when there's
cave
like
episode.
when there's when there's like the rocks fall in and they trap that Picard and Anij behind the behind the fallen
Mhm.
rocks. Deanna Troy gets out her phaser and she's about to shoot it. And
Yes.
who stops her? Who is the voice of caution and reason when Deanna Troy is phaser happy? But Worf.
But Worf, no. I could
Worf is
cause
like, you're
another-
just going to cause more falling rocks.
Worf.
Yeah.
He who carries
Yeah.
a bat'leth is like, no. We need to be gentle here. Also, the main, them being behind there and watching Picard use the lesson that he's learned from her about slowing down. I mean, she slows down time, but being in the moment, I was like, this is beautiful. I love this. I also loved it
Yeah.
when she did it previously before I thought they were going to get it on when she closed the door. But that is I feel like that's a really hard lesson for people to learn, to be in the moment. Like that's why they chose to do what they did, to be present, not think about yesterday, not think about tomorrow, but what is happening right here, right now between us. And him getting that so quickly, honestly, I mean, like, and realizing that if she stays in the moment with him, then they will have the time. When he said, "Stay with me," I was like, oh no, I'm not going to cry on the train. It was so sweet and not like sappy, like truly like heartfelt, like, no. I've learned so much from you. And the 4 days that they've been there, like they weren't there that long. But again, I guess when you're in a pre-warp, post-warp choice society, you learn quicker.
It's funny. I glossed over that earlier. The slow down time moment. But I love that your interpretation of it is so beautiful and poetic. I took it a little too literally and was like, what is this magical power? And he even says, how are you doing this? And she's like, no more questions. And I'm like, no, answer the question. Like, how are you doing this? Like,
No, I know.
Are we inside his head, or is time literally slowing down? Like, is it perception? Anyway,
Probably. No, I know.
Probably.
But I told you, like, this is why movies are made, because I'm a person, I'm going with it. When
Going
I,
on the
if
journey.
I'm going on the journey. And I will also say that this was hot Picard in all of this. After he took those pips off, he became like action Picard.
Yeah.
Like his arms were out. Like he was action figure Picard. I was like, okay, he was doing push-ups before these. Like,
Sun's out, guns out, you know?
how old was he in this movie?
That's a good question. So it was 1998. Someone do the math.
Well, he's what,
Um,
80 something now?
He's 85. And this
Mhm.
movie was
27
years ago? Over
Oh,
25
God.
years ago. Over 20 years
27
ago.
years ago.
Yes.
So he was what does that make him, like 60?
In the movie?
Yeah,
No,
not
whoa.
quite 60. Yeah.
Serious?
Late 50s.
He looked good.
Oh yeah. Well, you know, he Patrick Stewart also is one of those people who didn't age for the longest time, and I feel like he has in the last few years.
Yes.
But
yes,
kind of
yes.
like the Dick Clark thing, you know, it's like he just like
They were
he
young
looked
and
the same
then-
forever.
Mhm,
Then all of a
and
sudden
then they were old.
not that he doesn't look good. He looks amazing for 85, but you know, he looks his age now, you
He
know.
looks old.
Yeah.
It's okay to be old.
So back on the ship, we get I want to get your guys' take on this. When, you know, we've ejected the warp core, we've sealed the tear of the banned weapon.
Oh yeah, because they fly into the thing to use the Briar
Right.
Patch. Like, what did he say? Like
Brer
the
Rabbit did.
Brer Rabbit did. I was like, yes. This
And then
so good.
Riker calls for the manual steering column
Yes.
and uses that joystick.
Yep.
Now, what did you think of that moment?
It reminds me of when you're doing drag racing, but like legal ones where they have to you have to get in and they put the steering wheel on the car because it can't fit there until you get in. So it's like, yeah, here we go. It's time to put it in manual. Gotta plug it in. Where's that USB cord? Bong! Let's go. It was dumb,
That's
but I
funny.
liked
It
it.
was dumb. It was dumb. Like even if the joystick had popped up on the captain's chair, I would have been more. But he has to stand at this thing, and it's just a little like bought it at Radio Shack joystick that
Yeah,
goes
but
with
I think
your.
the captain's chair would have made it too like automatic mobility device to me.
Yeah.
Forward, back, whatever. It you gotta have some dumbness. You have to have the thing that's like, come on, y'all. Really? This is what we're doing? Okay, fine. This is your one.
I mean, Ransom loves it, in Lower Decks. I mean,
Oh,
he
does
makes
Ransom
several
use it too?
references. He does, yeah, in the finale.
Oh my God.
I think his is on the chair though. I don't think he has to stand up.
I
So maybe
do
that's where I
feel
got that.
like this moment definitely could have used a Riker maneuver, his normal one with the leg
Yeah.
over the
Leg.
chair, into grabbing it. I feel like that could have been fun, but they do call what he's about to do the
Do Riker maneuver.
too,
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
which is
Yeah.
funny.
History
I
will
feel like-
remember it.
Yeah, there could
Yes.
have been a little double thing there.
Yeah.
He sits
Yeah.
down in the Riker maneuver to do the
Maneuver.
Riker maneuver.
I think
If it works.
these whole sequences in this movie, I mean, this isn't like in watching this, I was just like, you know what? And it's kind of I love Riker in command of the Enterprise.
Mm.
And I love this, like it's the switcheroo from the previous movie, right? Because we had Picard on the Enterprise and Riker on the planet. Now they've switched. And I, red alert, like the Rikerisms. In watching this, of course, it takes me back to my first viewing of it when I was like a teenager of some sort, and obviously watching Riker growing up, and adult Damien it needs kid Damien to know that he did not appreciate Riker nearly enough. My adult self is like, do you know, like when you think about it, like Riker was created as like basic white guy.
Mm.
Sure.
Right? Like what was interesting about Riker as a character, like on the page, it is fucking Jonathan Frakes came in with that twinkle in his eye and that weird like sideways leg thing, and it was like that he is entirely responsible for that character. And as an adult, I'm like, I love that character so much more than I realize that I did. Like that scene in the first season of Picard when Picard and Riker see each other for the first time, and he just like the big hug and the like. I just, every time I watch Riker now as an adult, it really just kind of, I'm glad when he's in command,
Yeah.
And when Picard is back on the ship and they both go on screen, and then they kind of have a little talk, they're like, oh, he's like, not ready to give it back quite yet.
That's funny. Okay, so Crusher finally gets to scan one of the Sona and discovers that they're the same species as the Baku, which we've already talked about. But it's an important plot point. So, so they end up getting kidnapped, right? So Picard and Mother Gothel and several of the Baku find themselves basically in the Sona's like brig. Dowdery is like, Picard, call off the Enterprise. They've destroyed one of our ships or one of the Sona ships, whatever.
Yep.
Rotho is just ready to kill everybody. He's done playing these games with the Federation. He didn't know that they were the same species, and he goes to Rotho like, okay, look, it's over. We're not doing this. And
he tried.
He tried. And then he dies in the lamest way.
Does he? I was like, that shit seemed quick and painful. I was like, damn, he's put. So, one, he didn't have enough cuts on his face to be going through a plate glass window. One.
Yeah.
Two, my skin sort of crawled a bit when he flipped that situation down because, A, it seems like your face needs to be your skin needs to be disconnected from your skull to have that mechanism stretch you.
Yeah, it looks like tractor beams on your face or something.
I mean, how else did you want him to die? Like,
I
I didn't
guess
even know if he was going to die. I was shocked
not
when he died.
yeah, not that like I wanted it to be super gory because then it's like a different movie, but like it supposedly like crushed his skull, right? But like
Yes.
we didn't really see that.
No, you saw his face
You
almost
saw his
split
face
apart.
stretch
Mm-hmm.
and then
Mm-hmm.
he was dead. I guess I wanted like something percussive to happen.
Right. I was like, wait, is he dead or is he just deformed now?
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
He was
Yeah.
fucking dead.
Like the head should have exploded. Let's be
Oh
honest.
my God. We're not exploding heads.
I mean, that's kind of what would happen to your head in a stretcher chair, a head stretching chair.
Like split open.
Yeah.
Sorry, I guess I've watched too many like Evil Dead.
I mean, I'm all for
Star
like
Trek Hellraiser, just pulling them
Right.
apart. Yeah. No, I
I'm
mean,
all
I'd
I'm
be
all
the
for
first
it.
in line for that, so I shouldn't say anything.
Listen,
We did just watch Welcome to Derry, the It prequel, and
Yeah.
like I think that's where my brain is.
well, I haven't dove into that yet. That's next on my on the docket.
So the Admiral is dead.
Dead.
And Ruafo is like, okay, we're doing this. We're just screw it. We're launching the injector and the collectors and screw anyone. The radiation's going to kill them all. It doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter. But here's the thing, that's where we learned when they were in the brig is where aside from us learning that they're the same species, the fact that Mother Gothel was like, aren't you Gorgazon? And he was like, we don't go by those names. He's like, oh, you're Fernando Capicho.
Right.
And he's like, oh, you're
Just
and the
making
fact
up
that
names now.
yeah, I am.
Right.
Because I don't remember what they were, but my man, when he turned, I was like, oh, you told on yourself. And he was like, something in the voice. I was like, damn,
Something
you
in
can
the
change
voice.
your face. That's the
Right.
thing. You can change your face, but you can't change your voice.
Right. She
Your
was
mother
like,
still
you're
talks about you."
right. You're Jessica's son. She still talks
Right?
about you. Only I don't know the name.
See? And that is what turned him good. Because he realized when he was like, can I talk to you? Like here's the thing is that because a single person had a completely different objective than what they were telling the rest of them is why it failed. Because
Yes.
he was like, I just wanted to get this so we could go back to being youthful. You're trying
Right.
to kill everybody because they didn't let us come back. That's where you learned they didn't let us come back. In that
Scene between
conversation.
Ruafo and his number one.
Correct.
Got it. It's also that character that Picard ends up convincing to rebel. Because like the armor cracks and he realizes what they're doing is wrong, and he misses his mother Jessica. So you see that Picard is formulating a plan, and the ship has to be attacked so that the shields get remodulated. Because you know what can happen when the shields are remodulated.
You can beam people other places.
Beam people. So
that was a brilliant plan.
It was really smart.
Like it was fucking brilliant.
Yes.
And that's why the ship wasn't a MacGuffin, because it was actually in that moment.
It was used.
Damn, that man is smart. Smart in a way that I didn't see that. I saw that those were the same people. They diverged on the evolutionary track, but I didn't see that ship being used in that way. And what?
Me either.
And you know what? This is where Stephanie Meyer's got the whole end of Twilight second movie. The battle doesn't happen. It's all in your head because the battle didn't happen. It was all on the screen. Ha 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 ha. She watched Star Trek. Okay, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Well, also it's another nod to like things that we've seen in Next Generation, right? You talked about the duck
the
duck
blind,
right? Yeah, like this was a reference to Ship in a Bottle.
Yeah, Ship in a Bottle, right?
We've seen this.
Within a holodeck.
Oh shit, we've been in a holodeck all along. We didn't realize it.
Didn't they do something similar to Moriarty too?
Yes.
Yes.
That's what I thought about.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And there was that short tracks where that was the joke that they kept going and ending the program and ending the program and
ending the program.
Anyway, it's funny. I didn't even get it when did you figure out that they were on the holographic ship? Like when they're on the bridge and there's that like light thing that happens and he's like, what was that? And they're like, I don't know. And then they just go on.
Yeah, I did that. No,
I didn't clock that at all. I was like,
no,
I don't know. Something's weird.
Something's weird. Like, we don't know your ship. We don't know what it does.
See, that did look like a transporter beam to me, but I thought that, I don't know, I thought it was going to be more obvious because, like, now what, I mean, I've watched this probably 6 or 7 times now, and I watched it last night, and I was like, oh, they just got transported, obviously. It's like, wouldn't they all be like, hey, why'd we all go gold and glittery for a second? Like, wouldn't you say, like, hey, that felt like when we get transported, right? Because it is supposed to give you a sensation when it's happening. So
that's
like,
true.
But is every transporter the same? But here's the thing.
Right.
Those aren't Federation ships. So is transporting between non-Federation ships the same boobity boop as it is? Like,
the
it could just
effect
be
of the people on the planet getting beamed out one by one.
They were getting
sucked
quick. Out. They were just getting sucked out.
So yeah, maybe they were using the alien transporter technology.
It's just a zap.
We can explain anything.
I found out when they did. When he looked at the side and it got, I was like,
me too. And
I
his
said
hand
out loud,
goes through it.
I said out loud, oh shit, it's the ship.
Yep.
Oh my god. But you think that's the end? Oh, but it's not. My man is not undeterred. He is. Right. He's a really good villain, though. I'm sorry, like as a written villain of someone who is single-minded dog with a bone, he gets top billing on this.
Right. Yeah, because he beams over to the collector to like manually make it do its thing.
He said, I'm getting it.
Right. Like this is happening. And Picard, of course, Picard beams over and wins. But I remember reading that in the original version of the script as Ruafo falls. Ruafo, my God, the more I say it, the more it feels wrong. Ruafo, as he like falls towards the like fiery end. Originally, there was this special effect of him growing younger and younger and younger as he's falling.
Oh,
yeah. He ages backwards until he we
see the age that he left.
That's how he dies in the original version of this movie. Yeah,
that would have been so much better.
That would have been really cool.
That he goes all the way to being back to a zygote. That's how far back, or just like right before?
I don't think we have seen the full version of it. The footage. Did you see any of the footage?
No, I didn't. I just read a description of it, but that he aged backwards. Then I think he still explodes. You know what I mean? He's still going towards the fire. So maybe he's like 20 when the fire envelops him. I don't know.
Okay, because they're not going to kill a kid. That's what I'm asking.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah.
Right.
That really would.
Oh yeah, to like watch an infant die. Gross. Yeah.
Right.
No, I don't think that's what we want to see.
Yeah,
I mean, y'all want to see head explodes, but I'm just saying.
Well,
I mean, sometimes
adult heads exploding.
Adult heads.
That's fine.
Okay. Adult human heads.
Okay.
Not kittens.
Plus heads exploding.
Not puppies.
Understood. Thank you for clarifying that.
The sort of in reading about this, like I always use as a resource, I have this the book The 50-Year Mission by Mark A. Altman and what's his name, Edward Gross. And they interview everyone involved, and F. Murray Abraham was one of the most interesting people to read about, because first of all he talks about the makeup. He said the makeup process was 4.5 hours long. If you smile, he said, there are 135 muscles that go into making a smile, and it affects the eyes. If you're going to make a proper mask, and not just a mask but makeup, you have to get little tiny thin pieces of latex and lay them in to follow all the muscles so that when you smile, it smiles. Otherwise, it's just a flat mask. That's why it takes so long. And then he talks about there's something about masks that empower people. I think it's mystical. It's magic. You compare it to primitive cultures who, before they go into battle, put paint on. What does the paint stop? It can't stop a bullet. It cannot stop an arrow or a spear, but it gives you magical power to go forth. You are not a warrior until you put it on. I feel this way about masks. So he looked at this job as like this like chance to like practice that part of his craft,
like mask work.
And then he says about it, he says, at this point in my career, I had made over 50 films, and this was absolutely the best experience of my life. He said, Jonathan Frakes would say, all right, stop work, everybody. It's time for Murray's joke. And then he would tell a joke. It was the best experience of his life. And when I left, I was told I was wrapped and had finished. I almost wept. I hated to leave. I had the time of my life. So it's like, this is a great actor who had literally the best film experience of his life making this movie. So I'm like, some aspect of that is what we're seeing on screen, is why he's a compelling villain. Because I don't know that it's necessarily on the page in the same way. Like, this is like, I so much of this, and I would say the same thing about Donna Murphy as well.
Mm-hmm.
Like these are some of the best guest actors in movies that they've had, because they took something that was maybe not as strong on the page and really, I think, brought it to life.
Yeah,
absolutely.
I'm telling you, I was in. Like, it was one of the. Are we at the end? Sorry.
Yeah, I mean, this is basically the end. Picard says, I have a bunch of leave saved up. I'm going to come spend it with you.
300 and some change. My man got a year. He said, a year with you. Mom, I'm coming back.
Well, and the funny thing is that we know that he never sees her again, because he gets together with Beverly and she disappears on him.
You're right, and has a kid.
Yeah, that's the end of that. And the only other thing that the end of this, where the kid is afraid of him in the beginning. And afraid of, like, the through line for the kid is Data is this weird robot he's never seen before. He's going to hurt him. Follow through all the way to them talking on the journey, learning. And then him telling Data, like, that conversation that they have about his legs, him tripping over his legs because he's always growing. And Data saying, like, I wish that I could grow. I was able to, like, 38.7 centimeters, and they're always going to be
7.2 centimeters.
Thank you. I knew Lucy would know the actual number if I said it wrong. And they're always.
She's like, Data holds a special place in my heart. I have all the I have all the specs and diagrams at home.
And that is why I stopped talking, because I knew that she would say, wrong number. Thank you. And they just have this lovely moment of understanding what it is to be human versus what it is to be an android. And this kid teaching him that you have to be able to play. Like, playing and with that is like imagination, creativity is what it means to be human. And I just thought that was such a beautiful moment, and it's coming from an unlikely source. People usually, it's like, be seen and not heard. The kid, he had his own agency of being able to pack his bag. You're taking too much. He's taking rocks, which was hilarious. And his little more, it looked like a marmoset, or like a little vole, with him, and just out of the mouth of babes, right? Like, it made me very happy. And then we end with Data in the haystack, like he started in the haystack.
Right, having a roll in the hay.
Having a decent roll in the hay, not
I love rolling the hay.
I love that scene where he's like, gotta go, and then the friend is like, bye.
I gotta go home now. Like, this is what I'm saying. Like, all of the writing in this movie for me was like, it's the 90s. If I would have watched it then, I'd have been 17. She said it came out in 98. I'd been 17. Like, the idea of, I gotta go home now. My mom's calling me, and then being like, bye. It is a great. I enjoyed this so much.
All right, so I have a question for the room. What characters would you say are the best served by this movie and the worst served by this movie?
Can I say something before you ask that question?
Yes.
Because I think we missed something in the recap, which I had in my notey notes. the fact that Geordi, for the
Oh,
first time in his life, got
Yeah.
to see a sunset. Again, the other time I was gonna cry
Mm-hmm.
because Picard said, been sleeping?
hmm
Oh, there was nothing wrong with my implant. It's that my eyes healed themselves, and we see his actual eye color is back to brown,
Mm-hmm.
not that blue weird contact bullshit. And he watches the sunrise. And him saying, because the Admiral says, you're going to make him give up his, eyesight to save these
Mm-hmm.
600 people. And Jordy being like, my eyesight isn't worth these
Right.
lives. Like,
I
it
would
really,
gladly give that up.
it shows that Star Trek is about the collective, not the individual. Individually, we
Mm.
matter, but collectively, we matter more. And I didn't want us to like end without that because I truly was like, Jordy, because eh, he's never seen like that is major to be a
Yeah.
fucking adult and to have never seen what he is seeing now. A sunrise, people's faces without
hmm
whatever it is that visor fucking does, what that
Mm-hmm.
implant does. And he's like, "Yeah, I'm going to go back to having my eyes be whatever pain that may happen sometimes and the headaches and bullshit." What? Okay, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Lucy. I'm
Yeah.
just
No, thank you for bringing that up. That just, I can't believe I forgot that. That's one of my like favorite parts of this movie is that he finally gets to see one thing I was hoping for, which again, I'm very inspired by the novels. I've been reading a lot of these little Star Trek novels. The way that they write how Geordi sees Data through his visor is that Data has a halo around him for Geordi,
yes.
and that no one else has this halo. It's just Data. And I really wanted, they only needed 2 seconds to do it, but him just tearing up and you think he's looking at the sunset and it just pans and it's Data, just like, and that's all I needed. I needed 2 seconds. I just needed him like playing with a tricord and looking up and being like, and then that's it. That could have implied so much. It could have done so much for me. That that was just where my brain went with that. But yeah.
I love that you mentioned that because that is. Do you remember? There's the episode where they put the transmitter on Geordi's visor, or season one,
Mhm.
Heart of
Mm.
Glory, right? And they're on this Klingon ship, and he's got the transmitter on his visor, so everyone gets to see what Geordi sees. And they're like, "What's that glow of light around Data?" Or what's that glow of light? He's like, "Don't you see that too? It's the glow of light around Data." So it's like
Yeah.
that is a canonical. That's a real thing.
Yeah, they mention it in a lot of the books. It's very sweet, actually.
That's
That
awesome.
is so funny.
Yeah.
And it's the thing that I wondered with Geordi in this movie is like, doesn't he have to relearn how to see things? Right? Because we've seen what
Mm.
he sees and he sees everything so differently that
Mm.
like realized see it not what he sees, it's
I also think that it didn't happen instantaneously. Like
sure.
truly, like we
Sure.
don't know the timeline, like because who knows nights, days, whatever.
How long have they
But
been there? Yeah, we don't know.
yeah,
Right.
so that's why I like the slowness of it because it's like, oh yeah, I'm hurting. So he's probably starting to see the different things and then to realize and yada yada yada. But I don't think it would take that long to figure out, this is the warp core and this is the ejector and this is the
Sure.
I don't know what I was my head went away. Sorry, I was like,
It's fine. It's like
okay, sorry.
Well, I was. Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead, Mike.
I was going to answer your question because that leads me to my next thought. A character who I don't think was well served by this movie was Dr. Crusher, because like there could have been a scene with her helping Geordi and figuring out that you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Right.
Like there was stuff that they could have had her doing that she just doesn't really get much at all.
No, she doesn't get much in any of these movies, and it's a real. It is, but the only sort of silver lining to it is that her underservedness in these clearly bothered Terry Matalas, who did season 3 of Picard, who came in determined to correct it and fix things for her. So I think, but it was that's the
downside.
Yeah, that's how it is. And then I'll answer the other side. I think a character that was served well by this film is Riker. Like Riker gets to be fun.
Mhm.
He gets to be like, you know, I mean, maybe because he was directing, but he like, yeah, he's like at his best. You know, he saves the day with the ship. You know, yeah, I think Riker does some great stuff in this film.
It's interesting when I always am interested when people direct themselves. I will
Mm,
say that
yeah.
he seems to be good at it because it's not, even though he directed it, yes, he, has saved the day. It didn't feel overly like me, 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 me. I don't know how to like articulate that, but it yay, he directed and he did a great job, but I would say like it didn't feel like a self-direction. Do you know what I
mhm.
mean? Like
Right.
in some movies you're like, oh yeah, you just wanted to direct so that you could be in all to be all of the things.
I think he directs. I think he just has a really solid understanding of his like place in the larger scheme of things.
Good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
That's what I'm congratulating. That's why I can agree with you.
absolutely.
All right, Lucy. Who do you feel? Who do you,
Yep.
winners and losers in this movie?
I mean, I think going back to my other point, I think Worf is just really taking a lot of L's. I have a lot of mixed feelings about Worf, so I'll try to put those aside right now because it's not the time or place to get into that. We'll be here for
Ooh.
2 more hours.
Oh, oh, oh.
But
I,
I,
that I want to know. Save those. Put a pin in that for
we
some
will,
future
yeah,
date
no,
because
we'll
I would
Future,
love to
future
know that.
episode.
Yeah, we'll
Future
chat.
episode with Lucy.
Yeah, my beef with Worf. Yeah, he's just a lot of stuff is happening to him. He's showing up to help everybody out, but maybe he literally didn't tell anyone his wife died, so he's just like suffering there. He's going through second puberty. He's got a big old pimple. He's just having a really bad one. And I feel like he's, with the exception of him rigging that device to shut data down, I feel like a lot of the movie could have still progressed
Yeah.
without him necessarily being their tactical person there.
Mhm.
So I don't
Yeah.
know if I think he was just there to be with his friends again.
Yeah, it's like you can't do a TNG movie without him. So
Yeah, it's like, oh, all
let's
right, bring him too, sure. Yeah.
right.
All right. So who are the winners for you?
I mean, probably Geordi. And I think Data, because that is the first little moment where he's just learning to play a little bit. And then I think just going from this into Nemesis and knowing what happens in Nemesis, it's a
Right.
nice note for him to know that he had that experience as well. I also think it's key to note that like at this point he's not really using his emotion chip a lot.
Yeah.
Which I think is interesting for his storyline. Again, that could be another 2.5 hours easily. So I'll put a pin in that for another time. But
Yeah, I feel like it was I think there was a concerted effort because the last two movies were so focused on him and his emotion chip and that they wanted to take us back to the data that we knew in TNG as opposed to
yeah.
the previous two movies. So I think there's some people who thought that was like backtracking or backsliding for him, but I just thought it was nice to see him more like we knew him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, winners and losers. Okay, I'm going to say two winners. Jordy, yes, because that for me, like, it stabbed me in my heart in a way I was like, oh, yes. Um, Also, he got to shine when they are the whole him and Riker together
Yeah.
defeating like
Mhm.
he was the star and be like, oh, we're gonna have to eject. He was like, it's done.
Right.
Again,
Sarah
taking
just did
ages.
it.
I know what you're doing, dude. Like, hello, we've made the plan. It's gonna happen. I also think that Picard was a winner quietly
Yes.
because of just that single relationship with Mother Gothel. Like, I
Mm.
really think that that changed him. It's brilliant. Like, no, I love that that's what we're calling her because we don't remember her name, but I'm not going to call her Donna Murphy because that's not who she was. Um, I think that that is a very poignant bit of knowledge that he got that may, here it is, that leads to Picard and him going to his winery and living each day. And like, I just think about that now of seeing later stuff and then coming back to see this stuff. And someone has this written down somewhere. Hey, he had this moment on this planet with this lady who taught him to be in the present and not worry. And what is that really on a winery, making grapes, making wine? You're worried about today. Like, what is today's weather? How do the grapes look today? How does the wine in this barrel taste today? We'll worry about tomorrow type of deal. Losers. I mean, I can agree, Beverly, blah, 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 Troy, blah, blah. Like, what did they really do? Except have little moments, fine, whatever. But I really don't ever think there are losers in this except for the bad guys, and you deserve to lose. I also think the winner is face stretcher number 2, who got to see his mama, who was like that. The people
That final moment with them
was beautiful because it showed you can't always go back home. It's going to be a hard road for them if they want to be integrated back into society after a very extended Rumspringa, but I think that it's possible. And so
they'll have to give up all their technology again.
Did you see what they look like? Yeah. I would say,
it's true. It's worth
when
it.
can I go bathe in the waters to restore? How long is it going to take for my face to de-stretch and youthify? Because my God, on today.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay, Damazon, you asked it, you answer it.
Right.
To me, it is Beverly. It is, I know that this is what they do in these movies is that it is that our show that we knew as Next Generation is more of an ensemble show than the original Star Trek was, than any of these movies are. But they made that choice. I don't think it's a bad choice to make Patrick Stewart like an action hero lead. And so it really is a Picard show, and everyone else is just what they are. So, but I'm gonna say that, and that was hard for me to see a character, because I always loved Beverly, even in the early days. So that was sad for me to see her so underserved. But I'm gonna go with Mike on this one and say Riker. I think that I think it was nice to see Riker in his element. And I think that's kind of what struck me this time around, because I hadn't watched this movie in a few years. I think that is the difference. And it's interesting that you to rewatch these at like a new time in your life and see things differently. And but so we've been focusing on Lanita's first viewing, but Mike and Lucy have seen this movie many times. Like, did you have any in rewatching it for this? Did you have did anything new jump out at you?
A little bit for me. I did end up learning this fact on Wikipedia, but I was like, some of these sets look familiar, because when I start rewatching stuff, I just start looking behind everyone and at the wall, at the little. I follow like a Star Trek design thing on Instagram, so I'm always looking at their tables, their lights, and everything like that. One of the room where the Sona are in, where they're getting stretched and whatever, that's actually a reused set from Voyager. From that episode of Voyager when they're super in the future, and it's like the museum, and the doctor comes back online to debate the truth of what Voyager was. It's that set, which once I read that, I was like, oh, I see it all. But like, I just love things like that when I'm like, oh, I see that. That's the light tube that they reuse in every single thing. But yeah, it's the whole set. Yeah.
I would say the thing that stuck out to me is being the ship guy. I never really liked the Enterprise E, the Sovereign class. But in this film, especially in the Briar Patch and in the Nebula, there are some beautiful, just like money shots of that ship. Yeah, doing just like it's really nice. And when it when they beam Picard out at the last second, you see the ship like go like along the like beautiful stuff. Like, so I mean, I know that's pretty nerdy, but I really jumped out at me in this viewing that like, it actually is a pretty ship. I just missed the D. I'm like, why did they have to destroy the D? Because I love it. But yeah.
Final
You know.
grades. What are the grades?
A plus.
Okay,
A
A
plus,
plus. I mean,
wow.
I know.
Higher than
Listen,
that.
listen. Lucy said this is her
true.
movie.
Love this movie.
Well, and it's funny knowing that going in and knowing that you were going to join us and that like it definitely affected the way that I watched this movie. So I'm grateful for that. So thank you.
Oh.
But it made me, because I think maybe my younger self is more inclined to be critical and be like, no, it's not as good as First Contact was. Like, yeah, I don't think it was as good as First Contact, but it's a different movie. It's not trying to be that movie. It is purposely trying to be a different movie. And I don't think it was perfect. I mean, I'm going to give it I give it a B. Like,
Really?
I think it's or lower than that maybe even, but like B minus.
Mike Jones. Really?
I would say like a B plus. Like I'm really on par with Damien here. But this last viewing really, I enjoyed the film better than I did back in the day.
I hate giving these letter grades too because I'm like
I love letter grades. You gotta commit.
So many of the things that happen in this movie like are right in my heart, like truly.
Don't care. And it weren't enough. You still gave it a B minus.
Yeah, because I think like some of the
79.
Yeah.
I also full disclosure. So this movie came out in '98. I was definitely in my like
40s,
too cool for school like section of Star Trek. Like in high school, I was super like recording every episode on VHS, like loving it. And then it started to kind of decline in college because I just got really busy. I didn't see this movie in the theater. In fact, I remember calling it Star Trek Erection.
Oh my God, we didn't make a single erection joke this entire podcast.
Yeah, hello. That was my
God.
my whole intro because you had to search on your phone, so it wasn't an HR violation. Because hello, you type it in. Okay, anyway,
it's a deep cut.
When you got to explain the joke.
Wow.
Yeah,
I cut a little of your joke too.
Yeah, because it was terrible. I was like,
it's
long.
Sense to me.
Most
I know.
of
I
my
said,
dick
it's long.
jokes are
Fix
more
it.
overt than that.
Yeah, we know. Overtly did.
But I think that my memory of this movie is colored a little bit by the time period in which I watched it, which it was just I was in a different place in my life.
I was in a similar
watching
phase in that era because I was like I had grown out of Star Trek. I was like I'm in college now and I read Chekhov plays and I notice I didn't say I was reading Shakespeare plays because I certainly was not doing that homework. I had to get a job at a Shakespeare company to make them do that work for me.
Correct.
But no, I was definitely too cool for Star Trek in that era, and it was my own loss.
Absolutely, yeah, no, definitely a regret as I look back. But
okay, listen, I really like this. I'm A all the way. I really enjoyed the team being back together, showing their collective strength in numbers, them standing behind Picard. Like I wrote down the one thing that Mother Gothel says to Picard, the trust you engender. I was like, huh. And then something happened, so I had to rewind it because he said, for someone, for an offlander. And she said, no, for someone so young. In meaning that, and her saying that way before them coming when he took his pips off ready to go, it just reinforced the fact that he is a good captain, but he's also a good person. And to in a sense, you're sort of throwing your commission to the wind to go with him to do this. This is directly against orders from your hierarchy. Also, usually you don't inject yourself in these types of battles in this way without direct direction from
Mm-hmm.
command, it hammered home that point. And I think this was like truly, for like watching this, I didn't expect it to be so like next gen, full on team. We are one. We all grow individually and then also collectively. Like it's an A for me. I really enjoyed this movie.
That's
Did
awesome.
you enjoy this movie more than you enjoyed First Contact?
I think I might have.
Interesting. Yeah.
I think I might have. Like I think yeah. Because I get First Contact to A minus, and y'all
Mhm.
were shocked by that.
Oh yeah.
You're like,
yeah.
you're like, oh my God, why is that?
That's how we sound.
Yes, that is that. And also I think that it showed we got a little deeper into each person, like deeper into the relationship between Troy and Riker, deeper into what it is to be a Klingon and go through this second, um, puberty, right? Like getting deeper into Data and him becoming more human-esque. Beverly, yeah, she didn't get a lot, but she was a badass. She can shoot.
Yeah.
She like
She can
she
shoot.
Great
was
boss. Great
she was
boss.
she
Yeah.
she was truly a boss, like when she needed to be. Um, Getting deeper into Picard and seeing him as an action, like a true action star, as well as someone who is deeply moral, and not the way of like judging other people, but like his moral compass is very true and
Yeah.
north.
Yes.
Very true and north. And also that he will fight for his people to the death. Like he was going to get Data. There
Right.
was not a moment that I believed that that man was not going to get his friend. Yes, he is his employee, or his his lower. I don't know how to, his
Right.
his
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 subordinate.
staffer, his subordinate. I was
Right.
like, that seems so harsh.
I
He
know.
was going to get him. He was going to get his friend. And I think that's what it is. Like it was a Star Trek episode
Mm-hmm.
movie for me. And I felt it from the moment it started to the moment it ended. I was like, yep, all of these choices.
Amazing.
Yeah, I loved it.
Well, so we have one more of these TNG movies to watch.
What's next?
Star Trek Nemesis.
Ooh, there's gonna be somebody a nemesis. That means that
A
there's
nemesis.
a real. Is it a singular No, don't tell me. And then don't tell me. And then and then after Nemesis, then we go into what
The Kelvin
Kelvin.
movies.
J.J.
You
Abrams,
all
yeah.
you all seem very sad about that. Now, mind you, I have seen the first one, but do I remember it? No. So
Yeah.
it's still gonna be a. Lanita's watching this for the first time. There was a lot of weed between that movie and now, so
2009, really? Okay.
it was gone out of my head. Yeah, and I love that there was so much comedy in this movie.
Yeah. There definitely was. That was a refreshing.
Yeah. What was the one with the whales? What's that, 4? Which
Four.
one? Okay. Yeah. This is up there with the whales.
Right. So this is what, 9? If they kept going with the numbers?
Yes.
think
This
this
is
is-
9.
10, actually.
Is it 10?
They do 6, and then 7 is generation.
7 is Generations. 8 is
Oh, wait.
first Contact. This is 9, I believe.
This is
Oh,
9.
yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Why did I
Yeah,
think
because
that?
Michael Piller, who wrote the screenplay, told a story about going to a screening, and there was someone sitting behind him at as the movie ended. One person turned to the other and said, "Well, it's an odd one,"
Oh,
and he was like, "Are you kidding? 2 years of my life,"
Oh.
and,
right.
and it's summed up as an odd one.
Well, that person was just a hater.
Yeah, right.
That was just a
Yep.
hater.
Also, Michael Piller, who's of course since passed away, has is a prolific TV writer, but this is the only movie that he ever made.
Well, and he wrote a book about the making of this movie.
Yes, which we only discovered like 2 days ago, so we didn't read it in time for this podcast. But it is, Lucy, I have it as like a PDF. It's free online. I'll send it to you.
Thank you.
Look at her.
Yeah.
She
Yes.
lost her
I
mind.
didn't
Because
have
they
to
were-
say anything. Thank you.
Yes.
If you're not watching, her head exploded and she was like, I need it. And Damien said, okay, it's okay. I
It
got
should be
you.
a coffee table book. Like it's like the way that it's shaped and it's like the pictures and there's, it's really interesting. It's meant as like a for like screenwriting students to like talk about his like process beginning to end of creating it and all of that went into it. So there's a lot of the studio wouldn't let him publish it.
Oh.
Yeah.
Right.
But somehow it came out for free after he died. So
Yeah, it was released online. I want to say that his widow later did publish it officially, but it's no longer in print. But
it's
yeah,
called
but it,
Fade In from Idea to Final Draft, the writing of Star Trek Insurrection. So if you're listening and you can I was able to find it through, of all places, Wikipedia, and it led me to the
PDF.
link.
Little link.
Yeah.
Little
So,
link.
yeah,
I
yeah.
clicked it.
awesome. All right. Well, this has been a long one. Lucy,
'Cause it
thank
was
you
a great
so much
movie.
for joining
We had a
us.
great
so
guest
much.
who gave us so much information. Lucy needs to come
Yes.
around more often. She
Lucy,
knows-
you are open invite. You're always welcome back with us.
Thank
Always
you.
welcome.
Whenever you
Always.
want me back, I'm happy to come back. I love you guys.
And also not to advertise a convention that doesn't pay us anything, but
Ooh, but
we
maybe.
are excited. Like it's already on my calendar. I will be there for that weekend, so we are going to have an amazing time. I'm
I
very
can't wait
excited
to see you
in
guys
person.
there.
I feel like we need
Absolutely.
to do supplementals. We need to do like a full on Data and Lucy episode, and then like a Worf and Lucy episode. Like
Yeah, like
Oh,
you
yeah.
just
there
sort
needs
of
to be,
like
little
quietly
little
dropped a
supplements.
grenade there on Worf.
Correct.
God, yeah.
We didn't see
Can't
that one
wait.
coming.
Also, you make me want to see this entire movie from the Worf perspective, that he like leaves Deep Space Nine in like this horrible state of grief and starts
Just
getting
like-
acne and like
Correct. He comes here and
Yeah.
all of a sudden he's going back through puberty
Yep.
once
Oh.
again.
Trauma on top of trauma.
Yep.
Um,
It's just a
I
blue
will-
barrel waiting for him at home. Just won't stop for him. Like,
oh my gosh.
oh.
So tell everyone where they can find you.
Yes, you can find me on Instagram at Lucy Blueskies or at Sci-Fi Stripper. I'm working on getting a website going just so it's easier to find everything. Sluttrek.com is not mine. Don't click on that. Yeah, you can find me on Instagram and you will see me on the stage quite soon.
can't wait.
Absolutely. We look forward to it. On Risa. Thank you. Yes, I'll bring my Horgon.
Sorry,
I
Mike.
have the little
Wrap it
Horgon.
up. My
Thank you,
bad.
Damien, Lanita, as always.
playing Lanita.
Guest Lanita, thank you so much. Thank you, listener, for
pleasure.
sticking with us. If you have enjoyed today's episode, leave us a 5-star review wherever you get your podcast. You can find us and share us on all the socials at Hailing Freak Open, and write to us and let us know what you thought of this movie. And until then, I will say, Hailing Frequencies closed.
No goodbyes. Just good memories. Hailing frequencies closed, sir.